Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Zoom at noon on internships. My name is Nancy Velasquez. I'm an admissions assistant at Columbus Academy, and I'm here also with my colleague, Chris.
Hello.
Chris is also an admissions assistant, and she's more on the front end. I'm on the back end, but we're excited to have you all join us here today to talk about internships. And I just want to give a quick overview about what our Zoom at Noon series is all about. We have, obviously this is a different year than previous years, and so we created the Zoom at Noon series to try to connect with prospective parents. And we discussed topics ranging from community service to athletics. We had one last week about STEM and robotics at Academy. We've had some on college counseling, junior speeches, and we do record all of these. So if you are interested in getting a recording of a previous Zoom at Noon, feel free to email me. I'll put my email in the chat, so you can request any recording. We do have another Zoom at Noon next week about reading in the lower school. And also tonight, we have an open house for the middle school at 6 p.m. and an open house for upper school is next week on Tuesday at 6 p.m. So I'll make sure to include those links to register for that as well in the chat. And I'm going to turn it over to Chris here to introduce our special guest today, Jen Conti.
Thank you, Nancy. And Nancy, are you still sharing your slideshow? Yeah. You might want to take that down. We were just showing a slideshow that had pictures from both this year and last year's to kind of entertain everyone while we were getting ready here. Today's guest is Jennifer Conti. She is the Director of Internships and Community Engagement. She's in her 9th year at Columbus Academy. I think before you said you were the alumni director. And you also have a son who goes to school here. He's been here since kindergarten and he's now in middle school. And so your whole family is very Columbus Academy-esque. So you're going to talk to us a little bit about internships at Columbus Academy and how that works for some of our students.
That's right. So let me bring up some slides here. Again, my name is Jen Conti, and thank you so much for your interest in our internship program. Our internship program is still young and growing. We launched it in 2019, so we've had 2 full summers of interns out. And we partner with local businesses and organizations to provide internship opportunities for our upper school students. This is during the school year, but then also mostly the summer, during the summer with our summer opportunities. That's kind of the highlight, spotlight heart of the program is for the summertime. Some details about the program. All of our upper school students are invited to participate in this program, but each position and organization may specify an age. So we do work with students who are currently freshmen, even to our graduating seniors as well. So our internships are roughly about 10 to 15 hours per week for the summer. Some can do a little bit more, some might do a little bit less, but they kind of nestle in that area. The positions are paid or unpaid. I leave that up to the organizations. And it does tend to fall on that for-profit organization and nonprofit organization line there. But for those students who end up in an unpaid position, they're eligible to apply for a small stipend grant from my office. And so our intent with that was that we didn't want a student who had to earn an income over the summer turn down a really great unpaying opportunity. So that's been helpful to help some of our students with their expenses for the summer and expenses with the program too. The students go through an application and interview process. So they are actually applying for each position that they're interested in. They're not applying to the program for me to place them on positions. So they submitted an application that includes a resume. So we have some resume writing experience in there. And they apply for each position. And then the organizations review those materials and decide who they would like to interview, and then ultimately who they would like to extend an offer to. So it's a real world experience for them, for the program. So this is just a little sample of some of the things that our kids were able to do last summer. Despite the COVID pandemic, we had most of our kids still be able to go out and intern. We had 27 students out working with organizations. And I just become a social media stalker. So this is some of the things that they were able to do on social media. We had kids at the New Albany Food Pantry. We had the bottom three on the right were working with Role Model Magazine, and they each took turns taking over their Instagram and social media accounts. So we have a variety of projects and positions that the students are interested in. And hopefully we're starting to provide a lot of different things. So if they have particular interests, we can help with that. These are some of the organizations that we've partnered with and who have hosted our interns. And so, again, we work with nonprofits, for-profits, all areas of industry and functions, job functions as well. Some numbers that we've had for our past 2 summers. I like seeing the numbers grow and grow and grow. So we've worked with 39 partner organizations. We've offered a total of 74 positions and 42 interns have been out. And then the ones that I love to see is that we've had 82 student applicants, 233 applications received, and we've had 122 interviews held. So again, we're providing that real world experience for our students. And they really are interested in the opportunities. We've got some students submitting 1 application, and we've got some submitting way more than 1 for 1 position. So they're very enthusiastic about this. Some other opportunities that come out of my office and that I work with students on is that I send out emails to our students and also social media posts. I call them #opportunity alerts. So these are other internship positions that come to our attention, and also leadership opportunities as well. So in the past, we've had an alum running for office, and so she was advertising that she needed volunteers for her campaign. Some are our summer partners are looking for school year interns, and so we work with them and coordinate that as well. And then also through our office, and I help our science department coordinate what we call our CAPS program, the CA Applied Science Program. So we have a partnership with the College of Engineering at Ohio State, and that helps get our students in research labs over the summer. And then again, our website lists other internship opportunities that aren't affiliated with us, but that would be good for students to know. And then I have a catalog of over 800 summer enrichment programs. So these are more of those tuition-based courses that students can take for 1 week or multiple weeks over the summer as well. So I'm kind of the collecting point for that. And I also help students with their resume writing, mock interviews, and then I work with the alumni office and we show a career fair. We've done this for the past 2 falls. We were able to do it virtually this year as well, where we bring in alumni speakers to speak to the students about their specific careers and their journeys on how they got there, so that students get to hear a little bit about some of maybe the windy roads that people take to get where they are, and some of the experiences that they have had. I have lots of ways for you to reach out to me if you would like to know more. Feel free to take a snapshot of this as well, but then Nancy and Chris can also help get in touch with me as well too. But we have a website, I have a Twitter account, I have a Pinterest board to show students what are good things to wear in an office and appropriate for interview attire. And then as well as I'm on LinkedIn too. So Chris and Nancy, are there any questions that I might be able to help answer if there's anything else?
Well, if any of the people who have joined us, if anyone wants to ask a question, please put it in the chat box at the bottom. And we'll see if anyone has anything specifically they'd like to ask. Are there any prerequisites for applying for the internships?
For applying, no. Each position will have its own listing, like you would see on Monster or on a website. And so they might have some skills required or preferred in that. But as the program as a whole, there isn't anything that would prohibit the students from participating.
Okay, so any grades can apply. It doesn't.
Correct, just current upper school students. So I've had questions about rising 9th graders, and it's a little too soon for them. So it's students who are currently in upper school.
Okay.
And then are all the internships during the summer, or are there some that are throughout the year?
Primarily, what I say the heart of the program is over the summer. And so, last year we were able to offer 45 positions over the summer. This year, I already have 33 organizations on board, and we're working to finalize those in the next couple of weeks. So the bulk of the positions are over the summer. Students, it is a little bit harder to have students complete internships during the school year and also still be a student at the same time. But so I'm not actively recruiting for those, but if opportunities come our way, or if our summer partners would like to extend an opportunity during the school year, I will work with students and make announcements on that. And it'll have a similar application process, but I'll work closely with those organization partners to provide that.
Okay. I do see we have one question here. One parent wants to know if every student who wanted an internship got one.
Unfortunately, no. It is an interview process. And so some students may not be selected to interview and then may not be selected for the internship itself. My hope, we've made some changes from year 1 to year 2 to help with that. And so from the first year, it was more of a rolling offer, so very real worldy. And so, students might have heard an offer on this day, but wanted to hold out and hear until they heard from someone else. And so in the end, maybe some organizations missed out on a student, and sometimes a student might have missed out. So last year we introduced an offer day. So it is a day where I am sitting in my office distributing offers and hopefully making some smiles happen. But hopefully all the organizations are offering then, so students can make an informed decision a little bit quicker. So then we were able to move on to our next choices if necessary. So we were able to fill more positions last year with that, and more students had a position than before. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works out again this year, and to hopefully start to maximize and get as many students who want positions in. Some students only apply to one, and it might be the most popular one, and so they might not go too far in the application process. So the students that have the more choices are the ones that are open to applying to multiple and open to many different opportunities. But some students come into it, really only looking to have one role, and sometimes that doesn't work out. As far as the how many weeks are the internships, we pretty much run the whole summer. I talked to the organizations about starting, right after our graduation date. Our graduation's on Monday, and students can start on Tuesday. And it goes until till the end of break in summer. But August can look a little fuzzy, especially if we have a fall athlete. So those students might work out a different end date with their supervisor, and they are encouraged to talk about that pretty quickly. I do have some positions where they say this really can only be July and August for various reasons, and those are advertised and listed out in those position listings. But for the most part, we're looking at something that runs the entire summer. I do have questions usually on, can I still go on vacation, or can I still do another program? And the answer is probably yes. Supervisors are very interested and open to what the student is also doing over the summer. And just like where someday you might need to request off for a vacation, we'll be doing that. The students are encouraged to be upfront with that. And there's actually a question on our application where it's asking the students what else they have planned for the summer. So the employers would have a general idea going into the interview in their candidacy on what else they're doing for the summer.
I was going to ask you, Jen, if there's any that have been, can you talk, about some specific ones that have been particularly popular? Or I know my son works at a company that's offered summer internships out.
That's right. So that is actually one of my success stories. And so Chris's son works at Lakeshore Cryotronics in Westerville. And they have a college program, but then offered a seat for one of our students as well. So this was one of the internships offered in the first year. And so we had a student who that year was a rising senior. And he worked in the position. It was a great fit for him, and the things that he was interested in and the projects he was working on during his time as a student. And then actually, the company was offering to host a seat again for next year. Independently of all this, the intern had contacted and reached out to them again and arranged on his own to intern with them for last summer. So he had just graduated and then interned with them again too. So we're teaching that networking and in keeping contacts and keeping your connections to manage those opportunities. So that's one of our success stories. Another favorite one is a student who worked at the Fitness Loft. It's a gym down by Nationwide Children's. And so she worked down there. She did things with marketing and event planning and outreach to the community and their clients for the summer. She had a great time and was hoping that she would be able to continue working there again during the school year. So she is a volleyball player and a fall athlete. And so on her senior night, this was the summer before her senior year. So on her senior night for volleyball, her supervisor and other employees from the Fitness Loft came and surprised her on her senior night. There was 4 of them. They had shirts that spelled out Emma and surprised her that night, and then also offered her a job for during the school year. And so she had that. And so she worked there during the year and even into last summer as well after she graduated from school here. So that one is one of my favorite stories because she kept and had a great relationship with them and a great experience. And then last summer, we had a few students working out at the New Albany Food Pantry, one of which the position was a Spanish language intern. So they have a community and a need to support Spanish speaking clients in the area. And so our student worked to translate the materials that the other interns and the other staff were creating and to coordinate and talk with the clients and to make sure that they're having the services that they're providing. She also wanted to stay on, and so she stayed on during the school year, and I believe we'll continue to work with them even further than this year too. So our students are having some great experiences. They're taking ownership of the projects and really getting to know these organizations. And then also they're leading to other opportunities for them too, which is great.
I can imagine some students are looking at this as a way to kind of try out a career that they might be interested in or pursue before they get into college and commit to a certain course of study. Have any talked to you about that, or have any had such a great experience that they changed what they were thinking they would do in college?
Yes, so we do. That is a conversation that I have with the students, as I'm talking to them and getting them excited about what positions there are. My big message is that this is the time to explore. I don't know of anybody who might have changed their area of study, but I think it is exposing them to different things. And so, we actually have a lot of positions that involve social media. Organizations are seeing the opportunity to engage our young students in an area that they might need some assistance with social media. So, from the top level, it might look like all of our options are social media based, which is true. However, I talk to students about, this is what doing social media at this for-profit business looks like. And here's what social media looks like, maybe at this nonprofit who works with kids looks like. And so showing them and helping them to think openly about that and to explore, and that now's the time to explore. We talk a lot about how they are getting a jump start on something that they're probably going to have to do in college. And so they're going to get a couple of years of experience ahead of any college counterparts that they have too. So I think this is teaching them that early and that they are able to try out some things in kind of a no pressure or less pressure environment. It's a lot when you're in college and you're needing to make career decisions, and maybe doing this internship might make me off track, and then I have to, maybe complete a few more courses or something like that. So now the stakes are a little bit lower, and it's okay to start exploring, and it's okay to change your mind and to fine tune your interests now without having to change your major and add more time to your college and things like that. So it is a good time to start that exploration.
Go ahead, Nancy. It looked like you were going to say something.
Well, I'm just if anyone has any more questions, feel free to put it in the chat. I also want to just put in my email here in case you do want a previous recording of a Zoom at Noon or this one as well. And then I just put my email there in the chat. And I guess I had one question, Jen. How do you think the internship program will change over the next, or grow in the next 2 years or so?
Sure. Well, one roadblock curve swerve is obviously COVID. I didn't mention, we did have internships positions last year that were going to be in person, but they switched to virtual. For the most part, we had all of our hosts still be able to host. We just might have had to change some things. That's kind of how we're approaching this year. And so we have organizations that are offering in-person, virtual, a little bit of both. So we're kind of rolling with those punches. So I think some growth and some changes in the future could be related to that as we continue to maneuver around COVID restrictions and things like that. Outside of that, I hope that this program grows where we're able to offer more opportunities, and then also too that more and more students are interested in this as well. Like I said before, trying to create where we're filling as many positions as possible with students who are interested. So I just look forward to seeing it grow and grow and grow, and that students really take advantage of this opportunity, and that they think about this, and that it's something that they find valuable and that they will do. I'm enjoying getting out and learning more about the community. I was born and raised in Cincinnati, and so I am a transplant to Columbus, and so it's been great to get to know my community more at this level, and to see all the neat things that people are doing, and to hopefully find ways to get our students connected out there in the community and seeing what those neat things are too.
Well, thanks so much, Jen. We really appreciate having you with us today and going over all of that, and one of our many programs that we have for our upper school. Next week, our Zoom we're going to pivot back to lower school, and we're going to have Brelly Fahrenkopf, who is our reading specialist, talk about our reading programs and lower school and what kind of support we have for our lower school readers, just getting started out. So that'll be next Tuesday, right, Nancy?
Yes. And tonight we'll have our middle school open house at 6 p.m. and next Tuesday is our upper school open house. So if you haven't attended those previously, please feel free to join us. The link is, I will share the link in an email after this.
Well, I don't see any other questions, so I think we're done.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jen. Thanks for spearheading this program. I know it's so important for kids to grow their resume, and definitely have that advantage when they go to college. So thank you for all you do. And thanks to everyone who attended this webinar. We're grateful that you could spend some time with us. And we hope to connect with you soon.
Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.